Welcome back, beautiful people, to another episode of On today's episode of Trey the Terrible Collector, we're going to be diving into the DC Comics superheroes line. These came out in the late 80s and in the early 90s, and they were initially part of the Batman movie that came out in 1989. After the success of that, they were like, we've got to make some more toys, but there's only 4 people in this movie, and 2 of them are boring as shit. So who are we going to make toys out of? They began taking sculpts from an earlier series, which was a DC Superpowers, and it had a lot of Fourth World stuff. Jack Kirby, Darkseid, like all those like space big gods and all that kind of stuff. This line is a lot more grounded. Most of the villains are Batman villains, with one exception. But we did get some cool Justice League members and Super Friends members. I did do an episode while I was on vacation. I was out at the lake, and you'll get to see a little bit here. And the audio quality was just ass. I opened Robin and Riddler, and it was fine, but I'd rather just kind of like look at these toys now, share a little bit with you, and then I'll dig into some other ones. First one we opened up was Robin. Robin is the child sidekick of Batman. This particular toy is cool in that it is sized appropriately for the other figures in the set. He's a good deal smaller than Batman, but he matches him in the sense that like his accessories and everything are all very similar. He's got the same kind of cape with that little clip-on ring, which I really love. He does have a karate move, yeah, where he like, yeah, yep, that's his little karate. That's really cool. His little booties, you know, everything about this Robin is pretty tight. If you, I mean, it's got like the little detail in his shorts, the little details on his shirt. All in all, I think this one's a really tight figure. That being said, I would have loved a different. I mean, like as the '90s went on, you got different versions of Robin and things like that, and I would have liked some more. But this one is pretty sweet. This was the next one that I opened up. This is the Riddler. Like most of the toys in this series, he has knee articulation, hip articulation, and his head and shoulders, but nothing in the elbow. His overall design is pretty simplistic. It's, you know, his standard cartoon suit where he's got the question marks all over him, lavender gloves and belt, and then he's got like a demarcation where his knees or where his boots start to exist, and you know, whatever. All of that being said, this figure has some major issues to me as compared to some of the other ones. So if you look at like this Joker and this Penguin and even Robin and Batman, they're all pretty solid figures. You do have the pins and the joints, but everything else is pretty, you know, it's all cohesive. He's got these 2 big old screws in his back where it looks like he was put together kind of haphazardly. His proportions are all out of whack. His hip to head ratio is just absolutely bonkers. And he's also fucking tiny. Like, he's the same size as Robin. Batman's a full head taller than him. It makes sense that Penguin is short, but Riddler is like, he's just a fucking normal sized guy. Why is he shaped like this? Also, one of his legs is a full 1/8 inch shorter than the other one. So when I stand him up normally without paying attention to it, he just flops all the way over. Now I can bend it in such a way that makes him stand easy, but that's not great. Like, there's also no detail in his hair, whereas all the hair on Penguin and on Robin has, like, you know, just little lines in it. This is just looks like he's got a black cap on his head. Robin comes with, I don't want to undo the whole thing, but it's a grappling hook with a rope. He also comes with a batarang, which is the same batarang that Batman comes with the little hook on it. It doesn't fit in his hand. I know, we're all shocked. Oh, there it is. That kind of goes. Don't move too much, it'll fall out. Riddler, on the other hand, comes with quite possibly the worst accessory that any toy any toy has ever come with. He comes with a list of riddles. To celebrate, I'm going to read you one of these riddles. Where can the Riddler steal the world's largest diamond? At a baseball stadium. That's not a riddle. That's a joke. And that's a terrible joke. Anyways, Riddler is just really, really subpar. Hopefully when everybody's all next to each other, all the vibrant colors will look really nice. But he just, on his own, he's nothing to look at. Now that we've gotten through the couple that I've already opened and didn't have a chance to share with you, I'm going to open a couple more. And then we'll see where it goes. I'm going to open up Aquaman. So Aquaman is ridiculous to me. And the reason that he is ridiculous to me is that DC, for however long, 50 years or whatever, have been really trying to make Aquaman important and big and whatever. And in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, they like cut off his hand and gave him long hair, and he was like totally metal and whatever. And then they cast Jason Momoa, and you know what? At the end of the day, nobody actually cares that much about Aquaman. However, this figure looks awesome. Very reminiscent of his early Justice League or Super Friends looks. Let's see what we got going on here. His legs kick. He's got a little thing like that where his legs can kick like a little swimmer. The color of everything is very vibrant, very tight. His chest plate has like little scales all over it. Tons of detail for a little dinky figure. His face, he looks like he just took a whiff of milk, and the milk is questionable, but he's still gonna drink it because he doesn't have a lot of money. As far as the rest of this goes, he does have that like kind of half-assed put together thing where the screws are in his back like that. He also has like, his head is not, it doesn't turn so much as it like is like wobbly inside here. It's got a ton of motion. Like it can lean, it can tilt back, which I think is to make him look like he's swimming. It's a neat little touch that they didn't have to do, but it's actually pretty cool. He comes with, in terms of accessories, a trident, which is pretty dope. Does it fit? It does. Fantastic. And a gigantic seahorse. There's not really anything you can do with this, but it's going to lay right next to him, and it's going to look nice. Next up, we'll do one more. We'll do one more, and then we'll wrap it up. Next up, my absolute favorite figure from this line, one that I had as a child. This is Mr. Freeze. I love Mr. Freeze. I love him when he's played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love him when he's an awesome boss fight in Arkham, whatever that one was. And I love him like this, where he looks like a space scientist. His helmet is removable, and his skin is allegedly color change. I'm going to throw him in the freezer, and I'll throw a picture up here. We'll see if it worked. And I have no idea how I'm going to respond to that, because I don't know if it worked or not. He has these little like ice blasters that like come out of his belt. Again, he's the same size as Riddler. What the fart? He's just tight. Like, what? Come on. These don't even look like they're part of the same thing. Whatever. I do love this Mr. Freeze figure. I really hope that his color change thing works. I love color change toys. He looks absolutely fantastic. I wish that he scaled appropriately and he like fit with the rest of the toys in this line, but I absolutely love him. He comes with absolutely nothing though. Like not a single thing. They didn't even try. But all right. So that all being said, we've got a whole bunch of Batman villains. We finally opened up another DC hero. I think that the rest of this series is going to be pretty fun. We'll eventually get into some other DC toys, but I was excited to get into the Toy Biz line. I'm a sucker for the Toy Biz figures, and I was interested in getting some new ones I hadn't seen before. So thank you guys for joining me with this bit. As always, y'all have been wonderful, and I have been terrible. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you again